Hello small engine kids. So I am going to teach you guys today about how to use precision measurement tools. So we're going to start out with the micrometer. So my outside micrometer looks like this. Opens up like this. We have different parts. So we have the thimble right here, the ratcheting knob on the thimble threads onto the barrel, and then we have the spindle and the anvil and the locking lever right here. Okay, so to measure an object with an outside micrometer, the first thing you need to do is select the right micrometer. So today we're going to be measuring the thickness, or like the outside diameter of this socket right here. This socket, because, well, it's a 22 millimeter, which means that it's actually over an inch. This is a 0 to 1 inch micrometer. By looking at the plate on the back, you can see 0 to 1 inch. Measures down to an accuracy of 1/10,000th of an inch. That's what that plate on the back means. So we're going to see if this fits on here, just for the sake of curiosity. So we're turning it all the way out, and it is a whole inch measured in tenths. Okay, and we get to that 10, or that final 0 there, and it doesn't fit around. So this one's too small. Okay, so we're going to set it aside, and we'll grab the next bigger size. The next bigger size is a 1 to 2 inch. Generally, micrometers only measure 1 inch at a time. Okay, still measuring to a degree of accuracy of 1/10,000th of an inch. So what we do, again, using our, well, first we unlock it. This one was locked, so it turns nice and easy. Then using our ratcheting knob, we put it around the socket. It goes through nice and easy, and then we tighten it on the socket. I'm kind of moving it back and forth because I want to get the maximum diameter. Right where I start to feel resistance is where I'll stop. So I can continuing to move it in like that, so you guys can see that. So I'm continuing to turn it in, and it's getting tighter. It's right about there. I'm going to use the knob to lock it, so it is locked in place. Now we have to talk about reading it. Okay, so to read it, we're going to need a little piece of paper here. Okay, so the first thing we read is actually just the back of the micrometer. Okay, and this is a 1 to 2 inch micrometer, which means it measures from exactly 1 to exactly 2 inches. Because this wasn't all the way open, we know it's not 2 inches, so you know that your first part of this is going to be 1.0000 inches. We always go to 4 decimal places, or the 10,000th place. Okay, the next thing we look at is the numbers on the barrel right here. Okay, so you can see the 0, you can see the 1, you cannot see the 2. These are tenths of inches. Okay, so we split up our inch into tenths. We can see one of them, so we know we have 1/10. So 1/10 is, we just put a 1 in the tenths spot, and fill in the rest with zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, the next thing we look at then is the other tick marks. Okay, so our tenths are split into halves, and then also into quarters. We have a 1/4 tenth, a 1/2 tenth, 3/4 of a tenth, and then a full tenth. Right here, we can definitely see a 1/4 and a 1/2, but the 3/4 of a tenth, we're not quite sure if we can see that or not. Okay, so we're going to kind of turn it, we're going to unlock it and take a look. So 3/4 of a tenth would be showing, it would start to show up, well, it's not that way. So if we come back to where we were, okay, it hasn't shown up yet. Okay, it will show up once we hit the 0 right there, but it's not quite showing up yet. Okay, so we don't count the 3/4 of the tenth. So we count the 1/2 though. Okay, so 1/2 tenth right there. 1/2 tenth, think of like half of a dollar is 50 cents. So we put 1/2 tenth in as 50 right there. Okay, so after the tenth, so a 5 in the hundredths, and then you just fill out the rest with zeros. If this were on the 3/4, you would put, 3/4, which is 75, like 75 cents, or 1/4, 25 cents, put a 25 in its place, okay, in the place of the 50 right there. That's the part we're concerned about right there. Okay, then the last thing we read, or the second to last thing we read, is the thimble itself. So right now, it is between 20 and the tick mark underneath it, which is 19. So we're going to write 19, and we're going to put that right underneath the 50. Okay, fill in the rest with zeros. Then the last one is an estimate. Okay, so as you can see, the line right here is somewhere between 19 and 20. I'm going to estimate if we broke that into 10 parts, that would be somewhere right around, I'm going to say 7. Okay, so the last decimal place is simply an estimate between those. So do your best in estimating it. So we're going to put a 7 in there, fill in the rest with zeros. Then, to find our answer, we do some simple arithmetic. So lots of zeros plus 7 is 7. Lots of zeros plus 9 is 9. 2 zeros plus 5 plus 1 plus 0 is 6. 0 plus 1 plus a lot more zeros is 1. Carry your decimal point down. 1 plus a lot of zeros is 1. Our answer for the thickness of the diameter of this socket is 1.1679 inches down to the nearest 10,000th of an inch. That is how you use a standard micrometer.